I know there's some haters of the mini mic out there, and I'm not one of them, so you're gonna have to deal with it. Do you know what you're doing here today, sir?
I think so.
Could you explain to the people what you're doing here?
I'm picking out books.
My husband is going to be picking out 2 books for me to read because I am incredibly indecisive at this point in time. I am currently trying to finish book 2 of The Poppy War, and it is a great feat on my mind, and so I don't want to think about the next book that I have to read. So Cole has so graciously accepted the challenge of picking 2 books for me to read for this video. How do you feel about that?
Confident.
Oh, wow, okay. Do you have a game plan going into this?
No.
All right. So I'm going to let you can look at the shelves, you can do whatever you want to do. I will accept any book that I have not read and any that I have read but am willing to reread. There are some that I have read and won't reread at this moment in time, but there are a couple that I would. So that's what you're limited to.
All right. I like the sound of this one. The Lovely War. That's on the list, maybe. I love this book, but we read that one. You read this book?
I've not read that yet.
All right, that's on the list, maybe. Let's go to the other shelf. All right. Oh, easy choice. You're reading this right now.
Oh, I knew you were going to do this to me.
I've been wanting to watch this movie for 3 years, and they already made a second one and are filming a third, I think. So this one.
Why haven't we watched it?
Because you haven't read it. So that's number 1.
Right.
Have you read They Both Die at the End? Okay. Wonder what happens in that one. Oh. Ooh. Ooh, I don't know why this one's calling out to me. I think I got this for you. I'll let you exclude one.
What do you mean?
I'll pick 3 and I'll let you exclude one.
Okay. Cole has picked 3 books for me and said that I can exclude one. And he has picked some thick, dense books for the end of the year. I am trying to hit my reading goal, but we'll see. So he picked Dune because, as he said, we've been trying to watch the movie for 3 years, and I just refuse to read the book because it's intimidating. And so this is a perfect excuse to read it, but I am scared of her. So that's what I have on that one. What do you think I would rate this book?
Based on what?
Nothing.
Well, now that it's a major motion picture, I would say out of 5.
Yeah, out of 5.
3.7.
3.75?
3.7.
Okay.
Even.
I'd probably say about a 3.5 for this, but we'll see. Next is Project Hail Mary. This is also soon to be a major motion picture. I think that it might be. I don't know.
Starring Ryan Gosling.
Mm-hmm.
Based on that, I'm going to go ahead and say this would be like a 4.5.
I actually agree. I think this would be a 4, at least. And I think that you would probably like it from what I've heard as well. So there's that one. Then we have Lovely War. I don't know anything about this except that it has Greek mythology to some extent in it. What do you think I would rate that one?
3.2.
But also, I think it's
3.2.
World War II, but with Greek gods in it.
Okay. 3.75. It might be slightly better than Dune.
I agree with that. And I actually was just telling Kenna that I want to read this one. So I want to keep this one in, but like if I right now were to just pick one to take out,
keep it in and get rid of Dune.
It would be Dune.
Okay, give it to me.
But I want to read it for you.
It's all right. We'll watch it in a couple years.
Next one, guys. Next one. That one, End of the year, guys. I do want to hit my reading goal, and I don't think I will with that. So we're gonna read Lovely War and Project Hail Mary, and I'll come back to you once I have the second book of the Poppy War finished when I start these. Thank you, Cole, for your service.
No problem.
Do not.
What? Can't do
Not
that.
the bow.
Thank you.
He's never done that before. Hello. It's been a couple weeks since the last clip, and we're in an interesting location. So let me break it down for you. Since the last clip, I have finished The Dragon Republic and have not started either of the two books that Cole has picked for me yet. First of all, because I wanted to listen to a Christmas book, so I was listening to The Plight Before Christmas. She's interesting for sure. And I haven't been actually reading a physical copy of any book yet because I decided this year I would be hand making Christmas gifts for everybody I've ever met. So I decided that now's a good time. While I'm finishing these up, I figured I would take you guys along for the process of making gifts and finally starting Lovely War on audio. So I'm going to be listening to Lovely War, and let me go over kind of what I have yet to make. This is our last day at our house, and then we're going to my parents' house for the next week. Today's the 22nd, so there are very few days till Christmas, very few days till the end of the year. Let me tell you what I need to make. That's where we're at right now. So I'm gonna start Lovely War. I've got my tea, I've got my water. It looks a mess over here, and Cole will tell you he's been suffering through the mess for a couple weeks now. Sorry to him. I'm gonna start this. Also, I think that I said that this was World War II, and I think it's actually World War I. My friend and I were talking about how everybody writes about World War II and nobody writes about World War I. And she said, I think that book that you're about to read is literally World War I. And I looked at it and I said, you're right. So, my bad. Here we go. This is like the vision. Walking in. Very much a novice seamstress, so this all takes me a lot of thought. It's like really pretty piano playing. And they introduced the musician behind it as like with the narrators. So that's interesting. I've never heard that before. The entire time I was crafting yesterday, and I made it to, I guess, like the second part before we had to leave to come to my parents' house, which is where I'm at now. And honestly, guys, I'm a little bored. I'm on 86 now. This is quite literally just the introduction of the story, but it's kind of slow moving, and I don't know if it's because I'm listening to the audiobook and the narrators are British, and whenever I have British narrators, I can't speed it up as much. Oh my goodness. So I've been listening to it on 1x speed, and also I was trying to pay attention to my projects that I was doing, and clearly I could not do both at the same time because, as I showed you, the one bag I sewed with the straps on the inside, like stuck inside the liner. So maybe that's on me. So this morning I went on a run. I changed back into my PJs because today is Christmas Eve, and in my family, Christmas time means pajama time. So I got cozy. I think I'm gonna try to read more because also all these chapters are like literally a page each. So I feel like I could like actually read it pretty quickly. So I think I'm gonna try that. But essentially this book is about the Greek gods. So it starts out with Aphrodite got caught by Hephaestus, her husband, with Ares, and so now he's like holding a trial. And for some reason, she's telling this story. She's basically saying that she loves neither of them because Ares and Hephaestus are fighting over who she loves more. And she's like, I love neither of y'all. Nobody actually loves me. But let me tell you the story of these people who do love each other for some reason. And we've gotten two perspectives so far. We have Hazel and James, who met each other for 3 days and then he got shipped off to war and they're in love. Which again, Aphrodite is like kind of narrating us through this, so she's saying like she had a hand in it, but also it's a little quick for my particular taste, but we'll see. And then we have the perspective of a Black American soldier. I mean, he's a musician, but he's in the Army National Guard playing music for them. And obviously this is like 1917, so hi bud. I think there's probably going to be obviously some commentary on how Black people were treated during that time. He's kind of mentioned a little bit about like lynchings and stuff that are happening, and one of the things he said was like something about not dying like before he even leaves his own country, because obviously the war is happening like overseas. James just got shipped off to the war where I'm at now. That's not a spoiler. Again, I'm 82 pages into it, so I think hopefully it'll be getting a little bit better and like pick up a little bit more, but yeah, we'll see. It's like not bad, it's just I wasn't like super excited to like wake up and get back into the story. So yeah, I'm gonna make some tea, try to read a little bit before we have to make more crafts. Unless I missed it somewhere, which I very well could have, I can't tell how old these people are. Because Hazel, the girl, she hid their 3-day excursions from her parents, and he's like talking about them in the letters. But he's old enough to go off to war. Did they like draft young teenagers back then? Alright, fine. Sorry. Guys, I have something to admit to you, and it's that it's January 19th. I sure did put this book down for a while. And it's not that I haven't been reading, because I, since putting this book down, have finished 3 books and started 2 others. But this one just was not calling to me for some reason. I'm 222 pages in. This is like almost halfway, I think. And I don't know, there's just like, there's a lot going on and there's nothing going on at the same time. We've kind of solidified our 2 couples, and the writing is, there are some good lines in here, but overall, I guess at the crux of everything, I didn't realize that this book was YA. And I think it's a well-written YA, but I think that I am generally no longer the target demographic, as I am not really that young of an adult anymore. Since the last time I've talked to you guys, we continue to follow around James and Hazel, which was the original couple, and James is out on the front lines now, and Hazel is working in a camp just to be like some community for the soldiers there. And she has met another woman there, a young woman named Colette, who is pretty much there because she was, this is not really a spoiler, this is like the beginning of her story, but she is orphaned and her previous lover died in an attack on their town. And she has since also met Aubrey, which is the black soldier that we've been following. And they have taken to each other, and they're actually really cute. And all three of them, so Hazel, Colette, and Aubrey, do music, so they've bonded through that. And other than that, not a ton has happened in this many pages. I did think that there would be a bigger presence of the Greek like mythology maybe. As somebody who loves Greek mythology, i.e. I read Percy Jackson as a kid and The Song of Achilles as an adult, I was hoping for some more of it in here. They really are truly just the narrators of the story and kind of explain that they're the reason, like they've put some of these ideas. For example, Aphrodite is explaining that she has pushed the love story along a little bit, but it's really a very, very minimal touch. So I think that is maybe also a reason that this story just isn't quite what I thought it was going to be. I'm hoping that it picks up a little bit at this point. I've obviously finally decided to sit down and pick it up. Cole's at basketball tonight, so I'm going to try to get a good chunk read. I decided I want to try to finish this by Friday, and it's Monday today. So we have about 242 pages left, so that's doable in 5 days. I've got Smallville as some background noise. Guys, it's the next morning. I have made a lot of progress in this actually. I'm on 408 now, so I only have about 40 pages left really. In the past couple of pages, this book has really grown on me actually. Literally as soon as I picked it up yesterday, the plot started to get a lot more involved, and overall I've liked the story. The writing is truly really beautiful. There are a lot of like quotable lines in this, and I really do. I think it's a well-written book. I do think it reads a little bit young, but I am enjoying it a lot more than I was initially. Not that I wasn't enjoying it, I feel like it was moving fast in the wrong places, which I get it's mostly a story about love, but again, since these are like younger people, it's written for a younger audience. It's really taking its time with the thoughts of like, oh, should I hold his hand, or is he gonna kiss me? Just things like that, which at this point in my life, I'm far removed from that. So, not bad in any sense, but all that to bring it back to, I have 40 pages left and I want to finish it. Yesterday when I said I wanted to finish this by Friday, and now I'm about to finish it today, which is Tuesday. So, I don't know if I said this. I have also teared up a couple times actually, which I was not expecting at all. Obviously this is a book about the war, so some of it's going to be sad, but I didn't anticipate it impacting me in the way that it did. So I finished Lovely War. This book was really beautifully written. It had a lot of really impactful one-liners, really quotable lines, and lines that had me thinking about love and its relation to war kind of deeply. I did like the two love stories. You could really feel the yearning that is young love, and just the questioning every decision that you make in those situations. And I think if I would have read this at like 20 or younger, I would have rated this like super, super highly because I would have resonated a lot more with it. Maybe, I don't know, because again, the narration of the Greek gods did grow on me a little bit because they were able to provide some objective lines about humanity and love that the main characters wouldn't have thought probably to themselves. They provided good insight in that aspect, but I think it could have been done without them. I don't know, it's really hard to say because they were good sometimes and other times it just pulled me out of the story. And I think the ending, because again, this was a trial that they were holding for Ares and Aphrodite, and so the ending was the conclusion of that trial, and the author wanted us to then care about her relationship with Hephaestus and everyone else, which but then it kind of took away from what they were saying about how unique human love is, if that makes sense. I don't know if it does or not, but yeah, overall, I was able to read this like probably quicker than once I actually sat down and read, I was able to read this a lot quicker than probably anything I've read recently, and it was good. I would recommend this, especially to the younger than 20 crowd. But yeah, overall, it's a solid read. I enjoyed it. I will say it is very evident through the story that the author did her research on World War I and the people involved in it, and I did really appreciate the care that she took to write in the experience of Black soldiers and their experience during that time, as well as women. And she actually, at the back, has like a historical note, and it goes into Black servicemen, a specific night that happened, exporting Jim Crow, the hero's welcome, and then women in World War I. She very clearly took her time with this and wrote her characters with care, which you could tell. So I really did appreciate that. They were well fleshed out, motives were well written. So yeah, that's Lovely War. I have been keeping a secret from you guys. Cole and I actually started Project Hail Mary on a car ride a while ago, and so we are just starting chapter 4 of this. Cole only likes listening to audiobooks on speed of 1, so we didn't make it very far, but we have another road trip this weekend that we're gonna do. So I think I'm gonna listen to a little bit more with him, and then at the end of our trip, I'm just gonna go in on the book and finish. And I'll probably talk about it more then, because obviously I'm not very far yet, and they're just laying down the situation right now. So I'm finally sitting down, like actually sitting down physically to read Project Hail Mary. Cole and I have listened up to chapter 6, and something I didn't tell you guys was that when I started this book at the beginning of the month, I actually got chosen to pick the book for a book club that I'm a part of, and the theme for this month was a book that's going to be adapted into a movie this year. And funnily enough, as we noted, this is going to be a major motion picture starring Ryan Gosling, and I believe it comes out in March. And I said, that's amazing. I know exactly what we're gonna read. All that to say, the book club meeting is this Saturday, the 31st, i.e. 2 days from now. So we have some work to do. But I am determined to get this done because, again, I picked the book. I had to organize the whole book club meeting, so I have to read the book. So it's actually a pretty easy read so far. Like I said, I've only been listening to it on audio up until this point, but it's scientific, but it's pretty easy to follow. The book starts out with the main character, whose name is Ryland. He wakes up actually not remembering his name. He has total amnesia and figures out that he is on a spaceship, a rocket ship, a ship out in space. And there are 2 other people in the ship with him, but they are both dead. And he is trying to figure out what he's doing there. That's pretty much it. As he's moving about the ship and looking at all the things that are on there, he's kind of remembering why he's there. So as he's starting to figure it out, we learn that there is something in the atmosphere that has been eating, well, there's not atmosphere out there. There's something out in space that has been literally consuming the sun, and they're calling it astrophage. And since Ryland, who is now a middle school science teacher, used to write papers about how water was not needed for like alien life forms, essentially, they call him up to do research on this astrophage. And so we get flashbacks to him doing these scientific experiments on astrophage, figuring out what it is, why it's literally eating the sun, which of course is going to cause the collapse of Earth, and what the events are that lead to him being on this ship. So we're learning as he learns again what's going on. And we actually just figured out why he's in the location that he figures out that he's in space. Because the astrophage is pretty much traveling like mold from star to star and consuming them. And there's one star that they found that the rest of the stars around it are affected, but that star isn't. So we're assuming he's at that star to figure out why it's not being affected and how they can probably replicate that for the sun so that the Earth doesn't literally die. This does have a very alluring plot, and like I said, it's so far seems pretty easy to follow. I'm just lacking like the real pull to be fully invested and immersed in this story. I'm gonna set a timer for an hour, so I'm hoping that by just sitting down today and really reading the physical copy that I can get into it and be more excited to read it. And most of the girls in the group, I think, are actually done with the book. They've all been saying that it was a slow start, but it gets really good. So I'm excited for the gets really good part. Not that it's bad so far, like I've said, but oh yeah. I forgot to mention, long story short, they're using the astrophage to power this ship, and he found out that there's only enough astrophage to get him to the star and not back home. Things are not looking good for this fella. Also, I hate to admit it, but this is the second book I'm reading right now, written by a man, and it's kind of funny. Like, he has some funny thoughts sometimes. I feel like men just aren't afraid to put the humor in there. Sometimes, don't get me wrong, you know what, I'm gonna stop before I insult people. Saturday, and not only is it Saturday, but it's Saturday at 11:15 a.m. and my book club is at 1 p.m. I'm on chapter 24. The past couple days I haven't filmed because I've mostly just been listening to the audiobook at work. I've come home and read it a couple times, but physically, but yeah, I've mostly just been listening to the audiobook, and I actually think that I like the audiobook better for this reading experience, but I only have like an hour and a half before I have to leave, maximum. So I think I can physically read faster. I'm on 395, there's 478, 476. So I have about 80 pages left, and this is so doable. I can do this. I don't know why I'm acting like this is gonna be so hard, but yeah, obviously a lot has happened since the last time I talked to you. I feel like as soon as I started it a couple days ago when I filmed, it really picked up. I think that was around like chapter 10 is when it was like, oh, this is good. Also, I did not take the speculative part of the speculative sci-fi seriously, and let me just say, that's like the whole book. If you're catching my drift. I don't want to spoil anything. This actually has turned into something that I like did not expect at all. I don't know why I didn't, but I feel like I want to talk about a few details. So skip to whatever time I put on the screen if you don't want any spoilers, and I'll give you a second to do that. Okay, I love Rocky so much. He's so cutie. I think the intention was to like make him, like if your pet was just able to talk and like probably smarter than you. Yeah, I love him. I was a little scared when we thought he was gonna die, but the whole time I've been reading about Ryland and like Rocky obviously together, I have been thinking that one of them is gonna have to go home with the other. Because first of all, Ryland's ship is like falling apart right now. So I don't know, that is one guess that I have for the end of this. We've obviously figured out that Rocky has enough astrophage to potentially send him home, but again, his ship's not really like working very well. We found out that Ryland didn't actually ever want to go on the trip. He wanted to live and didn't want to go on a suicide mission. And they said, joke's on you. You're actually going whether you like it or not, and we'll just drug you. And the amnesia was all a part of the plan because they didn't want him to sabotage the trip once he got there and woke up. And I think that's really interesting. I like that they did that. Not that he like got, you know, voluntold to die, but I just think it's an interesting another aspect here. And he just remembered that. So that's where I'm starting back up, is that he remembers that this was not something that he actually volunteered to do on his own. He was always just supposed to be a scientist on the project, and then wanted to go back to the kids that he taught because he really loved his job as a middle school teacher. But yeah, I'm really interested on how this is gonna end. I just don't think it's gonna be like perfect enough that they're both gonna get to go home to their own planets. Maybe they will, I don't know. Well, because Rocky they can't live in each other's planets unless they're in like an astronaut suit the whole time. I don't know, we'll see. That's where I'm at. I'm gonna try to finish this quickly. I'm also very interested in how they're gonna show Rocky in like the ship and everything in the movie. That's something that I think that this could benefit from, is a little diagram, because something I have a hard time following is like the actual layout of the ship and like what's happening, especially when he does like the centrifuge spinning and all that. So I think the movie is going to be like a really good additive to this. So I'm excited to watch it. But anyways. My toxic trait right now is that I'm thinking up solutions for their problems as if I know the science behind it. And I don't. You guys want to hear my idea? Skip this if you don't want any spoilers. But okay, so they have these Talmebas. They can't survive in nitrogen, which is 3.5% of Venus's air and 8% of Erid's air, so they're all worried. Can they not do a little like unmanned spaceship kind of thing? They have the Beatles, at least Earth does, where they put the Talmeba in their own environment inside, and it goes around and collects the astrophage, and they just eat them from the inside, you know? Do you guys want to know how long it's been since we started this video? This is where I'm going to pan out and show how long your hair is.
I don't remember what books I chose. I don't even remember what year it is.
Oh. Well, we started this in 2025. And it's 2026, so I do recall what books you picked for me.
Dune?
Dune. R.I.P. Dune, better luck next time. The first one was The Lovely War, but I rated it 3.75, so that was really good.
Yeah.
There's nothing really else to say about this. They heard all my thoughts, and I don't think you'd care about them, is the thing. But it was good. This one, we listened to a little bit together.
Yes.
What did you think of this one?
I only listened to what, the first 2 chapters?
No, like 6.
First 6 chapters?
Yeah.
I thought it was terrible, not gonna lie. But
Terrible?
the narrator was so bad, respectfully. It's the narrator.
Okay, but what did you think of the actual story?
It was okay. We didn't get into it.
To be fair, he stopped before it was like getting good. I thought you liked it more than
It
terrible.
was okay. It was okay, but the narrator was just throwing me off.
I think you would have liked it if we listened to it on 2 times speed, but he refused to do anything above 1. Tell him, guys, that it's better on the other side. I did finish this on the way to book club in the car, so I got it done. And that was like several weeks ago. But all the girls also rated this highly, and I didn't tell you what I rated it. I rated this 4 stars. I really liked it. And it got good as soon as you stopped listening, pretty much. So,
Sounds about right.
are you gonna ever go back and listen to any more of it?
I will watch the movie in approximately 3.5 weeks.
I just can't see a way that they do the movie wrong, you know? I feel like it's gonna be a good adaptation.
Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling. But yeah, I had to do an outro. We couldn't leave Cole hanging on his, couldn't leave Cole hanging on his YouTube debut. He picked good books. These are 3.75 and 4 are good ratings for me, to be clear. Like anything above a 3.5 is good. Cause that's like average for me. I feel like people throw around the 4 stars and above. Loosey goosey.
So what's next?
So what's next? It's a great question. I think we should swap books next.
Okay. 20 likes and she reads Dune. 20 likes, that's all I ask. So she reads Dune and we can watch the movies. Thank you.
Do this man a favor. All right. Thanks, Cole.
You're welcome.
Thanks for doing this for us. Me and the 3 people watching. We appreciate you.
20 likes, please.
Okay, bye.
I had 2 chili dogs today.